Dear students, in this module, we will be talking about some of the examples relating to measures of location. Now, what are the measures of location? They are used to locate the center of the data. And sometimes we call them as measures of central tendency. So, why we are going to locate the center of the data? Because we need a measure which we would be using later for the formal analysis of the data, such as non-parametric analysis. Now, these measures of location, which are also known as measures of central tendency, they are used to locate the center of the data so that we can find out a single representative value for the data. Then further, these kind of values, they are also known as the point estimates. Why we call them the point estimates? Because we find out a single point to represent the entire data or the distribution. The types of measures of location, which are commonly known as measures of averages as well, they are of various types. But the most popular one are the mean, median, and mode. Dear students, I am going to consider two examples so that you can better understand how to calculate the mean, the median, and mode for a data set. The first data I am taking is that is showing certain values from 2 till 6. So there are values 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 5, and so on. Now, in order to calculate the median, the first thing we would have to do is to arrange the values from smallest to the largest observation. So as you can see that the minimum value we have after arrangement of the data is 2 and the maximum one is 10. Now, the procedure to calculate the median is that after arranging the data, if the number of values are odd, as you can see that in this data, there are 9 observations. So they are odd, and what we are going to do after arranging them for the odd values, we would have to pick up the middlemost value, and I've highlighted that value. The value is 6. So this 6 is basically the middlemost value in the data, and we call it as a median. Now, I will be taking another example. That example is about the number of observations that are even in nature. But the procedure will remain the same, that first of all, we would have to arrange those values from smallest to the largest. So the minimum value I got is 1 and the maximum is 10. Now, how to calculate the median? Median lies in center of the data. So, if you just see that it will lie between 5 and 6. But we need a single value, as we said that it has to be a point estimate. So, we will be taking the average of 5 and 6. And how we are going to do that? It is shown in this equation that median is calculated as the average of these two middle values, 5 and 6. So we have summed them up and dividing them by 2, we are getting the value as in median, that is 5.5. So students, इसी को एक और प्रोसीजर से भी हम कर सकते हैं. जैसे कि आपको नज़र आ रहा है कि ये डाटा जो है, ये डाटा अनग्रुप्ड डाटा है. हमारे पास फ्रीक्वेंसीज नहीं है इस डाटा में. सो हम अनग्रुप्ड डाटा का मीडियन कैलकुलेट करेंगे यूजिंग दिस इक्वेशन. दैट स्टेट्स that median may be calculated as n plus 1 by 2th value in the data. So basically using this equation, we are going to locate the center of the data. So the number of values, n represent the total number of values in the data. So there are 10 values in the data. 10 plus 1 gives us 11. Dividing it by 2, we got 5.5. So 5.5th value is the location of the data. So 5.5th value, again we would have to go back to the data. This is the 5th value. This is the 6th value. So taking their average, we are getting the same value as 5.5. Now moving on to the calculation of the mode. What is the mode? Mode is the most frequently occurred value in the data. Now as in case of data 1, you can see that there is no mode. Why there is no mode in the data, students? Because there is not a single value which is going to repeat itself a maximum number of times. Every value is appearing once. If we look at data 2, you can say that the value 5 is appearing twice in the data. So इसका मतलब है स्टूडेंट्स, इसमें हमें एक मोड मिल रहा है डाटा में एंड दैट वैल्यू इज 5. ऐसे डाटा सेट जिनमें हमें एक वैल्यू मिलती है उनको हम कहते हैं यूनी मॉडल विद अ सिंगल मोड. एक और डाटा की एग्जांपल लेते हैं विच इज़ डाटा 3. यहाँ पे अगर आप देखिए तो दो वैल्यूज़ हैं जो कि ट्वाइस अपीयर हो रही हैं, 3 and 5. So इस डाटा को हम कहेंगे बाय मॉडल डाटा. That means the data with two modes. Finally, we are going to talk about arithmetic mean. That is also a kind of average. क्या करेंगे स्टूडेंट्स? हमारे पास डाटा है इन फॉर्म ऑफ अ वेरिएबल. एक्सेस आर वेरिएबल जिसमें ये ऑब्जर्वेशंस आपको नजर आ रही हैं. The formula to calculate the arithmetic mean is that we sum over the values and then divide them by the total number of observations in the data. So mean के अंदर हमने ये values को इन values का sum calculate किया, वो sum आ गया हमारे पास 82. उस 82 को हमने इस formula में लगाया, divide किया with 10 total number of observation और ये हमारे पास आंसर आ गया mean का 8.2. So this is how we can calculate mean, median and mode for a data.